All right. So I wanted to, well, first of all, good morning, BTBG family. I hope that your Tuesday is going well. It is prosperous and abundant. I wanted to talk about a little experience that I just had. And the only reason why I'm even acknowledging this experience is because it's something that I've experienced many times now with similar crowds. So I follow a guy on YouTube who does, gold and silver stuff. I do precious metals. I have physical. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna say it anymore. I have some investments, um, and this fucking gimbal. I swear to God, this thing was expensive. This thing was like $120, and it's just like you don't get shit for what you pay for these days. Okay, anyway. Um, I follow a guy, and I've been following him for a couple of years now, and for the most part, he stayed apolitical, and I can understand, like, okay, I understand, no, but, it's politics and everything. And like I said, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name channels or anything like that. I don't want any beef or any drama. But I want to acknowledge this because it's my way of trying to stay, somewhat sane in this insane reality these days. Everything is stupid, backwards, and upside down. We feel like we're literally living in the fucking bizarro world. So the guy, I follow his talks, whatever. He's just a normal dude who does, investments, whatever, as well. And the thing is, unfortunately, whenever you talk about certain crowds, unfortunately, it's the adverse selection of how certain individuals will gravitate towards certain things based on certain underlying characteristics and criteria. So, unfortunately, this particular investment draws a lot of, super conservatives and, right wingers and everything like that. The thing is, at this point in time, on March 24th, 2026, at 10:28 a.m., MAGA knows that Trump is a fucking piece of shit. They knows he's a pedophile. They know he's a cheater, a liar, a rapist, and everything else. The issue is that they don't want to they don't want to be wrong, and they don't want you to tell them that they are wrong. So I'm in this, chat, and the guy he starts talking about, looks like there was some funny business going on in the markets yesterday when Trump made that announcement about the peace talks and da 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 da. And it looks like he reads off how, like, Iran, one of their, I guess, foreign ministers were talking about how Donald Trump and his buddies are manipulating the market with this fake news and this these different announcements that he's making. And I put in the chat, Trump is a loser, and I got banned. So you're telling me that you can talk about how Trump is manipulating the markets, but we aren't allowed to, like, say, as freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of opinion, we are allowed to categorize his behavior as loser fucking activity? And I went to a different email or whatever on YouTube, and I went back and I was like, so you can talk about how Trump is manipulating the market, there's insider trading going on, and you ban anybody who categorizes that as loser activity. That's fucking nuts. And I said, oh, go ahead and ban this too. But, like, you're making your position very, very well known, you know. And it makes me almost dizzy whenever I come into contact with this level of imbeciles, and it's difficult to wrap my head around it. But this is what cults do. You know the truth, they know the truth, but God help you if you say the truth out loud. So I unsubscribed, and he lost a subscriber. The thing is, at this point in time, this motherfucker, Donald Trump, has done so much shit in the past 14 months. It is unbelievable. Not only that, the fucking Epstein files came out, and his name is there and implicated in countless crimes, just in the stuff that's not redacted. So the thing is, if you're still covering for this fucking loser, if you're still trying to ride his dick for some reason, because maybe you think that you one day will be the next Donald Trump, you can suck my dick, dude. Evil motherfucker, you guys are still trying to cover for and beat and run interference for and support with the countless human beings that have died on his fucking watch, both in the first term and now in the second term. Countless. And the thing is, I'm gonna upload this video, and typically I don't like to mix this type of platform of what I'm doing in gardening and all this other stuff with politics and whatnot. But unfortunately, we are in a time where if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Especially with the level of gaslighting and the level of horseshittery and game playing and mind games that are being wrought right now. I don't like having to talk about this stuff. I don't like politics. I don't like any of it. I like gardening and self-sufficiency and learning and building and creating. But some of this stuff, it tears your mind up if you don't stand sturdy against it. Because that's the whole thing about truth. Truth is only the thing that's repeated enough times to be a part of normal day-to-day beliefs in operation. We wish that truth was objective. That's why we have libraries and scientists. But unfortunately, a lot of times truth is pliable. And I'm a type of person, especially in the work that I do, where I cannot believe lies, because lies will inevitably, lies will inevitably breed destruction, and quickly for gardening. So anyway, I've been yammering on long enough. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this video short. Don't fall for the cult, guys. Don't fall for this cult shit. Like, this shit is just, and I'm trying to keep my mind straight when coming against this madness. Oh, I see how that gimbal works now. I gotta hold this. Anyway, Hope you guys are getting some things going in your garden. It's gonna be raining here for probably the next week and a half. I knew it too. I was telling my friend Amanda that 'cause she's all excited about gardening and getting things out there. I'm like, don't get too ahead of yourself because it's gonna come April and it's not gonna stop raining. And sure enough, I looked at the forecast and it's like rain every single day in April up here in the PNW. So I'm a little grounded at this point. Hopefully my plants don't grow too fast for me. And the place that I have to start putting them out too soon. I don't want to have to put them out too soon. I also don't want them to burn under the light if they get too tall in that tent. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking too much. Have a good day. Bye.